Local news about local people. This is Newslink Indiana.
Hello, I'm Chris Bavender. Thanks for joining us. 15 days after a massive ice storm hit east central Indiana, Delaware County officials recall their work during the disaster. Newslink Indiana's Chris Wilson has more on some of the hits and misses.
Layers of ice, 5,000 tons of tree limbs, and entire cities without power. Delaware County's emergency management team had its work cut out. City and county officials met Thursday at the Minnetrista Cultural Center to take a look back and see where they can improve. One major trouble area was preparing the community.
I think because of the recent disaster of inconvenience, I believe now we have the attention of most people to actually have more success in an ongoing community awareness educational program.
Officials want people to be ready for any disaster. Delaware County Emergency Management Director Bill Gosnell says residents should be able to take care of themselves for at least a while without government help.
Government can't and will never be capable of taking care of all the citizens all of the time during emergencies and disasters.
The American Red Cross and Delaware County Emergency Management says families should always have an emergency plan and the resources to stay in their homes for at least 72 hours in the event of a disaster.
A lot of folks didn't have these plans in place, and they need to take time to sit down as what happens if communication goes out, our families get separated, where we need to go, how we're going to contact one another.
The Red Cross says you should always have extra food, water, and blankets just in case disaster strikes again. In Muncie, Chris Wilson, Newslink, Indiana.
You can visit redcross.org for more information on building a disaster supply kit for your home. The new year means a makeover for the old SAT, now designed to show more of a student's potential. The test will now feature 3 sections: math, critical reading, and a new essay section. All 3 will be graded with a traditional 200 to 800 scale, which will make a perfect score 2,400. Some college admissions departments hope the new test will give a better picture of the student as a whole.
You do have a sample of writing, whatever they can do, and I think it's a 25-minute period, but it does give that extra input on the student.
The new test will last 60 minutes longer and cost $12 more. The final version of the old SAT test will be given this Saturday. A fan left running for 3 days caused a fire Wednesday night at the Pleasant Valley Church in Middletown, according to fire investigators. Newslink Indiana's Molly Fry explains how a congregation comes together and celebrates in the midst of tragedy.
Hazel Scawthorne is the oldest and longest member of Pleasant Valley Church.
I'm 106, can you believe that? Sorry, I can't even think of anything.
But Hazel remembers the church fire.
Burning it, the best part of that building up.
She's not talking about Wednesday afternoon's fire. 3.5 years ago, a lit candle burned the sanctuary and pews.
That was much worse than this one.
It was a unity candle that burned down the church then, and the unity of the congregation that built it back up.
Good folks, and so we rallied.
Wednesday, once again, after news of a fire, Pastor Rob prayed.
I prayed that the sanctuary especially wouldn't be damaged.
A time Hazel remembers. Now, years later, and another fire behind them, the congregation celebrated.
A birthday cake to celebrate and thank the Lord for the fire, because all things work for the good of those who love the Lord.
In Henry County, Molly Fry, Newslink, Indiana.
Estimated damage to the church, $100,000, mainly in the fellowship hall, but the original 110-year-old building still stands. Amacor officials say residents living near a magnesium plant that went up in flames last week were never in any real danger. The company sent a letter to residents Wednesday, a day after a lawsuit was filed against the company. The letter says the fire was contained to a portion of the building with no toxic substances. Some 8,000 residents were evacuated from their homes for almost 24 hours because of that fire. Well, Carrie Hazley joins us now with a look at our weather, and the snow just seems to keep on coming down. I was out earlier driving around and no real traction.
No, not at all. And actually the bad news is that it's going to start to get worse before it gets better. We've got another storm on the way for the weekend. I'll get to that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and take a look now at the graphics, though. A snow advisory in effect until midnight. That means an additional 2 inches of snow could still fall before the midnight hour. We already saw about 3 inches of snow at approximately 6 p.m. today. With this, another 2 inches, we could actually see closer to 6 inches of snowfall. Let's take a look now at precision cast. We start this at 7 p.m. Thursday night. Set this into motion. The blue area indicates areas receiving snow. Flurries already in place through the day on Friday and as we start the day on Saturday. In the almanac today, we started out with a high temperature today of 29 degrees, low temperature of 23, well above where we actually should be for this time of the year. 15, the average low. And low temperatures for the overnight hour on Thursday. A little more seasonal. 15 degrees will be the overnight low in Marion, back in Lafayette. An overnight low temperature of 17 degrees. Take a look at the forecast for Thursday night. Drizzle as that snow starts to change over. Mostly cloudy after that, and a low temperature tonight in Muncie of 16. Take a look now at precision cast. We start this at 7 p.m. Thursday night and set this into motion. Our next system back to our west starts to push in as we head through the day on Friday. With this, we could see multiple forms of precipitation. It's really hard to tell this early if we'll see ice, if we'll see snow, or a combination of the two. Set this into motion now for the forecast on Friday. Mostly cloudy in the morning, a few stray flurries, and very cold. Make sure you bundle up as you head out Friday morning. 18 degrees will be the temperature with an east wind from 6 to 10 miles per hour. High temperatures across the region on Friday in the mid-20s. 24 degrees will be the high temperature in Marion and Portland, 25. And in Anderson, 25 degrees will be the high temperature for Friday. Friday here in Muncie, mostly cloudy skies and a few flurries as we head into the afternoon hours. 26 degrees will be the high temperature with an east-southeast wind from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, we have been tracking a winter storm that's developing back to our west, as I mentioned before. As that starts to move into our area, one of two things could happen. One model predicts that we could see ice, similar to that we saw just a few weeks ago. With that, just over an inch of ice accumulation possible by Saturday afternoon, then 1 to 2 inches of snow. The next model, no ice at all for the areas north of I-70. That's most of our viewing area. But if Model 2 holds true, we could see 6 to 8 inches of snow, in some places up to 12 inches of snow. We'll continue to monitor that storm. For the 5-day forecast on Saturday, that's when that storm system starts to move in. 25 degrees for our high temperature. Heavy snow possible, and that snow sticks around on Sunday. A 1-2 punch as that system starts to move off around the back side of that system. We'll see another double shot of cold air. 23 degrees will be the high temperature on Sunday. And as we head into the work week, starting to warm up on Monday, 30 degrees for a high and 34 on Tuesday.
Well, hopefully we won't get another round of what we had a few weeks ago.
I don't want the snow either, but I think that the up to 12 inches of snow is certainly the better of the two. But meteorologists do urge you guys to certainly prepare for the worst, just in case we do get the ice or the snow.
All right. Thanks a lot, Carrie. Well, one supermarket chain now offers a little more than the usual bread and butter. Newslink Indiana's Jamie Jones explains.
Typically, supermarkets sell meat in neatly wrapped packages. But one Indiana grocery chain offers a new way to get your protein.
Here at Customer Service, hunters can apply for a license so that they can hunt and fish for their own meats.
This marsh on McGalliard near the Muncie Mall is one of the first grocery stores to offer small game hunting and fishing licenses through the Department of Natural Resources. The process is simple. Present a valid driver's license, verify your correct address, and in 2 minutes, you'll know if you've been approved.
There's no filling out of forms. It's all done via the intranet and print out the license right there.
Store co-manager Matt Thorne says he is pleased with how convenient the process is.
Well, it's just one of the many services that we offer. Come to the store and pay your gas bill, come to the store and get your fishing license.
If you're wondering how gun shop owners feel about Marsh's license system, Fred Ludington, owner of Ledco Gun Store in Parker City, does not feel threatened by a grocery store that offers hunting licenses.
And I reckon if it's more convenient for the hunter or something to buy his license at a grocery store, that's not a problem with me.
You can hunt down a license between 6 a.m. and 11 p.m., 7 days a week. In Muncie, Jamie Jones, Newslink, Indiana.
42 Marsh supermarkets, 15 low-bill food stores, and 1 Arthur's Fresh Market now offer the service. That is Newslink Indiana. For Carrie Hazley, I'm Chris Bavender. Join us again tomorrow at newslinkindiana.com for more news.